Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen, and I come to you from Baltimore County, Maryland, where it is currently 1,000,000 degrees. I go by Knit and Craft online, and I am primarily a knitter, but I also do some spinning, some crocheting, sometimes some weaving, and all around just crafty things. This is my, I don't even know what number podcast, but my podcast where I talk about all the things that I'm making, what I'd like to make, anything that I've finished, and my future plans. So if that interests you, please join me today. Okay. I took off today and for the rest of the week. So today is Wednesday. What day is it? No clue. I am terrible at dates. It is June 17th. So I took off June 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. Well, the 19th is a holiday, so I'm off automatically, but I should have a 5-day weekend. Now, when you work in IT, that means nothing because you're on call, or at least that's how it works in my world. So I did work all morning, but now I'm ready to dive into this podcast episode. It's been 3 weeks since my last one, and I did promise you guys a giveaway. So I didn't want to drag this out any longer. I wanted to do the giveaway. Only 2 people commented. A lot of people liked it, but nobody else commented. So I'm not going to choose between you guys. I want both of you to win. So I'll put your names on the screen. I will put all of the things in the description so you aren't confused and you don't have to go back and watch this. But essentially, please, both of you email me with your, if you want a physical item, if you want one of the 2 yarn options I offered, then let me know which one, and I'll need your government name so I can send it to you, and then your address. If you want a Ravelry or a pattern online, then you can just send me your Ravelry ID or your username and then your email address, and I will get that to you. My email address is knitandcraft@gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen. It will be in the description, and we can just roll on. If you guys both choose the exact same thing, which I don't think you will because I almost positive one of you is outside the United States, then I'll do a number generator between you guys, but I don't think that's an issue. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Congratulations to the winners, and I hope you really enjoy your prize. So let's talk about finished objects. You can see I'm not wearing anything, but that's because I have 2 finished objects today, and I want to show you both of them. So sip of coffee, and then I will change. Okay. So this is the very much long-awaited coming soon sweater. It's a beautiful deep blue color. It's got a nice texture. This is the brioche tuck stitch, which is kind of like half fisherman's rib, but instead of going into the stitch below, you just do a yarn over like you would do in brioche, and then resolve that on the next row. So it creates this kind of bunchy, almost brioche texture, but not quite. It's really interesting. The purls are really tight, and then the knits are like a brioche knit. It's finally done. I have no idea where I was on the last one. I'm pretty sure I was halfway through the sleeve, and then I finished the sleeve, and I finished the body. I really don't know. Anyway, it's done. So let me put this on for you. Even though it's 1,000,000 degrees, and this is woolen spun yarn. I will do it for you guys because you're my friends. Okay. Dog, I'm backing up. Thank you. It's wrinkled because there's no way I'm wearing this in the summer, but I think it turned out well. I do think that the arms are a little strange with the way that they are decreased. I might block it this way and see if that helps with this weird line. But other than that, I'm really into this. I think this will look great with a pair of slacks for work. If I need to dress it up and be a little bit more professional. Today I'm wearing men's sweatpants because that's where I'm at in life right now. I need to be wearing men's sweatpants. So yeah, this is the Coming Soon sweater. I knit the size, I don't know, it'll be on the screen. I forgot all of the information about this immediately. I did knit this in Juniper Moon's Patagonia Organic Merino in the color Indigo, and I think it looks great. I did use 4 skeins of this, which I thought I would use less, but anyway, really happy with this. Let me take this off and we'll talk about my next finished object. Now this finished object I'm really excited about because I really wanted to use this yarn. I don't think, that's not true. I generally do not work with cotton or just cotton blends in general because I just don't gravitate towards them. But I felt this and it felt like those old, I don't know how to explain this. When you're a kid, at least when I was a kid, I had these like really soft bath towels that I would get wrapped up in after a bath. And they were like terry cloth almost. And this has the same feeling. It's not terry cloth, obviously, but it just feels similar to me. It has that heft, it has that weight to it. So I was really excited to work with this yarn. This is Knit Picks Woolen Cotton in the color Pea Coat Heather. So that's what it looks like up close. There is dog hair on it, you know, I'm sorry, but I've worn it and that's what happens when you have a white golden retriever. All right, I will put this on and we'll talk about it. So it is, let me move my mic. I'm just gonna wear this. It is a top-down construction. This is the, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. This is the Clay Tee by Ozetta. And I did knit this a little bit off gauge. I think the pattern called for 4mm needles. I knit this on a 4.5mm needle. I'm actually not far off from the gauge. I'll get the exact gauge and put it in my Ravelry project, but I still think, even though this gauge is a lot better for this yarn, I still think I might want to go up even one more needle size to a 5mm if I knit anything on this again. There's good weight to it, but it does, especially at the edge, just feel a little, I mean, there's good stretch to it. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what I don't love about this, but there's something that I don't love about it. I think this shirt just is begging to be a little bit more loosey-goosey flowy, and this is like, it hangs, which I don't hate, and I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing. I just don't, I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it. Like, I'm definitely going to wear this. And I think with wear and like just gravity and just like breaking in the yarn, I'm going to like this in a year. It's just like right now I'm like, I don't know. It does not give me the ick at all. I don't feel the wool content. It really does feel like cotton to me. So even when it is warm outside, I'm not like, oh, this is gross. I'm very, very, very sensitive to just any fabric, natural fibers, not natural fibers, anything. So the fact that this isn't giving me the ick gives me hope that I will really like this and get a lot of wear out of it. And I would use this yarn again. I do wish that the wool and cotton came in a lighter weight. This is a, I think, DK to worsted weight yarn. And I would love a fingering weight yarn. I don't know why there isn't a fingering weight in this blend, or maybe I'm just missing it. I don't know. I'm not like a Knit Pick stan, so I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, this is my Clay Tee by Ozetta, completely finished. All ends are woven in. It's blocked. It has been sitting in a folded heap, so there's lines, but I can just steam those out. And I'm not super precious about this, so I'll probably just throw it in the washing machine. I have never ever thrown a knit item in the washing machine before. So I kind of want to experiment with this and see how it holds up. We'll report back if I do that. So those are all the finished objects that I have. I've been killing it on my garden, working in the backyard, ripping out trees, really getting it ready for a privacy fence, and I'm really stoked on that. But I have picked up a couple projects. Once I finished these 2 objects, I was kind of in like a little bit of a knitting funk. I didn't really want to cast on anything. Everything just seemed like out of the realm of possibility for me. So I was like, I haven't crocheted in forever. One of my favorite crochet items has been the Hygge? I'll put it on the screen. Burst Blanket by Mallory Craw from Nana Craw. And I'll actually go get that blanket so I can show you what it looks like. So this is one of my favorite blankets. I love it. I used leftover yarn in my stash that I just like didn't know what I was going to do with. I'm not a big variegated yarn person, so I used quite a bit of variegated yarn in this, and I love this blanket. It has great weight to it. It's really, really soft. It has really special yarns to me in here. So I just wanted to use them up. And I felt the same way like a couple weeks ago when I was like, what do I want to make? I want to do something, but I don't want to knit. So I was like, why don't I just make another blanket? I have all this yarn set aside that I have no clue what to do with, but I don't want to sell or give away. So I started making my little squares. Let's see. Let me grab a square from each. No. Calm down, Kristen. Okay. So the first square I have here, this is Boss Kitty BKDK in the color Brass Monkey. And this is the label. Is that upside down? Yes, it is. So I am making 11 each of the colors. I'll have 9 colors, 11 each, 99 squares. And that will give me a 9 by 11 square blanket. The next one I have here is, none of these are blocked, by the way. Sandhill Yarns, Silent Horizon. This is the sock fingering, so I held it double. I'm just pulling from the inside and the outside of the cake. And like the great thing about this is it's pretty much using up the entire skein of yarn. And it takes me like a day. I could never knit that fast, but with crochet, it just eats the yarn. This is Miss Babs Yowza Mini in the color Field Mouse. So you may notice that this is the yarn I said, oh, I want to make my double date sweater out of. I've abandoned it. I didn't like it. I'll show that to you too. It's a frog. The next one I have is the Little Wolf Knits Sunfish in the color Geyser number 1. That is so gorgeous. I love this. And finally, oops, a leaf from my pothos. Sorry. Finally, I have another Yowza Mini in the color Watery Tart, another one from my double date that I just didn't love. So let me see if I can hold all of these up together for you. Maybe you can see the vision there. I don't know. My fingers are in the way. I'll take a picture. How about that? That will be so much easier and pop it on the screen instead of me trying to do gymnastics. All right, so the colors that I have to do are sitting right next to me, so I'll show you that now. I haven't started this because I'm too lazy to skein these up. That's real life. Sometimes you just can't do it, and I haven't been able to do it. So these are still in their hanks, and they will remain here until I get the motivation to wind these up. But these are the next 4 colors, and then I think I'm gonna do a black border. All of these are from Stash, and I'm so excited to be using them and getting them out of Stash and into something that I really will use. I love blankets. I'm a blankie person. I just like to sit around using blankets, and it's so special when it's something that you've made. So I'm really excited to keep working on this and get it done whenever. There's no time frame. Like, I'm just chilling. I will block all of these squares to be probably 4x4, and we'll go from there. I have a bunch of Barocco vintage that I'll probably use for the border. And even though that's a worsted weight, it'll be fine. I used Barocco vintage for this as well, and it's fine. It's fine. And it's something I have. I also have a bunch of skeins of Cascade Heritage in black that I could hold double, and maybe that would work, but I don't think I have enough of that, so I would have to buy some. It's a thought. I don't really know what I'll do. I'll keep you posted. I'm just winging it right now. I'm just completely winging it. And then I did cast on something just easy peasy stockinette, which ended up being the Palm Springs tank by Leslie Forrester of Knit, California. I think her last name's Forrester. I'm not 100%. Leslie of Knit, California. And I modified the gauge pretty heavily. It's supposed to be a 3.5 millimeter needle. I went down to a 3 millimeter needle, which means that the way I was going to work things out had to be different. I wanted the medium size, but I am knitting the extra large to get the medium. And I'm not necessarily going to the extra large lengths. I'm going to the lengths that I deem appropriate. And that's really just based on vibes. I don't have any math to show you for that because I didn't do math. I was like, yeah, that's right. So don't be like me, kids, but like also it's worked out just fine. Actually, I could show you. I could put this over my tank top. Let me do that. Give me some more room. All right, so I just put a couple stitches on, tried on tubing, so to give me some extra room because I'm using a smaller circular. The back is longer than the front, so this is the front. Let me stick it on. So as you can see, it pretty much follows this Target tank top to a T. I'm very happy with this. I am very happy with this. There is negative ease, no problem. It's not see-through, like I was worried about, because I did drop the gauge down. And listen, I am not a bra person. I don't like bras. I don't wear bras. 90% of the videos on this channel, I'm not wearing a bra. Today I am. You're welcome. But I have no intention of generally wearing this with a bra. So I need it to be where you can't see my entire, chest. That's why I made the gauge smaller. If you don't care, don't listen to me. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is the Palm Spring tank. I am knitting this out of Knitting for Olive cotton merino in the color dark sea green, and unlike the regular merino that I dislike knitting with, I really have enjoyed the knitting process of this. It's not splitty, it has a really great twist to it, it glides through the hands, none of the cotton fatigue, I don't feel any of that with this. I really, really enjoy it, and I would knit with this again. We'll see how it wears and blocks, but for right now, this is getting a really high rating for me. Wait. Let me talk about the construction of the tank top. I'm all over the place today. As you can see, I'm super high energy, which is not normal for me, but you know, the thought of a 5-day weekend is really, really just getting me going. Anyway, okay, construction. This is knit, I think in like a normal tank top construction. I've not knit a ton of tank tops, so I can't tell you for sure, but in the back, you start with the back, start with a rectangle, you cast on your stitches, you knit down to a set length, and then you increase out on the sides. You just increase every row until you get to the number of stitches that you want. Then you go back up to the top here, you cast on new stitches, and you do some decreases, make your straps, come around to the front, do your increases, and then you join together, knit down in a rectangle, and then do your increases on both sides. That's it. That's the easy peasy, join in the round, and now I'm just home free, just knitting. This is how much I have left of the first skein, the first 50-gram skein, and I'm knitting the extra large, remember, and pretty far. This is like 2 inches maybe. So a little goes a long way with this, and I'm overall very, very pleased with it. All right, next up is something I've been talking about for a while, and I finally did. This is the Lanark by Rebecca Clow of the Crayabea, and I am knitting the masculine fit stockinette version for Mr. Craft. There will be modifications. I have not made them yet though. So let's start. I did 1,000,000 years of ribbing and folded it over, so it's a double thick collar. All of these tried on tubings are holding 6 stitches from either side. So you can see that. I believe this is where the zipper placket is going to go into, and it's on both sides. So you knit back and forth, or you knit your collar piece, and then you put these stitches on hold, and then you knit them together, and then you work across. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is you don't work these stitches on the edges, and you cast on stitches from this back piece for your shoulders. So now I am just knitting straight down, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to make this back piece. Now I am going to modify the length on this back piece, so I don't want to give away any secret sauce, but I don't think this arbitrary measurement is going to give anything away. It says to knit to 9.5 inches. On Mr. Craft's favorite quarter zip, his armhole is like 12 inches. So I'm not going to go quite that deep, but I am going to make this a little bit deeper for him because I do think that he will find it more comfortable. Now I am knitting this out of the Utopia BFL BFF. And it's this really nice, beautiful, charcoaly, brownish, I don't know, it's just really beautiful. And I will pop the color number or the name of it, if it has a name, on the screen for you. So this is the Lanark, and I have not made any progress on this in a couple weeks because I ran out of yarn. This is one skein, and I cannot seem to cake up new yarn. I don't know. It's an issue. It's an issue. Life stuff. I am just completely over the moon about having 5 days off. I have so many plans. I'm going to rip more trees out of my backyard. I'm going to organize every cabinet, closet, drawer in this house and get rid of things. Like, for example, I have a ton of makeup in my office because I get ready in my office, and I don't like really even wear makeup anymore as I have started to age. My skin doesn't accept makeup the way it used to. I have all these palettes and all these creams and all these powders, and I don't use any of them. I use Il Makiage foundation, Elf, the tube blush, and mascara. And that's about it. So I'm gonna clean out my makeup drawers, gonna go through everything. I have so many palettes that like I have a sentimental value, like they are sentimental to me, but I don't ever use. I have a conspiracy palette by Jeffree Star. Obviously this was like right in the midst of the drama, and I don't know. That was not the best decision. I have never used it. And I have all of these palettes that I just like have never used. And I just need to get rid of them because they're expired for one thing. And then two, like, what's the point in keeping them? So I'm going to get rid of most of my palettes. I'm going to keep my Naked 2, which is like 15 years old at this point, and my Nudes and Rudes by Carity. And I'm going to get rid of everything else. I'm going to get rid of all of my perfumes that I don't wear. I'm going to get rid of all of my liquids that I don't use. Like, I don't use concealer. I don't use primers anymore. I'm just like moisturize, found like a really light foundation, and go. And it's gonna feel really good to like get rid of this stuff because it just takes up so much space and I don't use it. So I'm gonna be doing that. I am super duper behind on Love Island, and that's kind of on me and kind of on this season because I just feel like while they're the most normal cast I think I've ever seen, they are so flippin' boring. So I need to catch up on Love Island or just quit it, and then I am gonna do a lot of cooking and prepping for like future dinners. So freezer meals, stuff like that, where I can just put it in the freezer, forget it, and then when I just mentally can't cook after dinner or after work one night, I have dinner already done. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. I've been watching a lot of really great TV, specifically anime. We just finished season 2 of Shangri-La Frontier, which is probably my favorite anime I have ever seen. And we're now embarking on a Black Clover journey, which I know a lot of people really love, but there's a lot of episodes. So we're watching that. We just finished Running Point on Netflix, which I thought was really, really cute. And I think that's all I'm watching right now. Yep, that's all I'm watching. I am not reading. I'm still in a reading slump. I can't get out of it. I cannot get my brain to focus on literally anything, which you could probably tell by this video because I'm all over the place. But yeah, doing a lot of baking. Made good yeasty rolls the other day, and I am kind of thinking I might make more. So happy Father's Day to anybody in the US that is celebrating Father's Day. If you are a father or father adjacent, then happy Father's Day to you. And if you're not a father, just I hope that you have a great rest of your week and weeks to come until we can chat again. I have really just taken a step back in my life, and I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'm not trying to be rigid about my crafting or my anything. I just want to do what brings me peace and what brings me joy, and I hope that you also find that kind of zen in your life because I feel a lot better. My anxiety is like really not acting up right now. So I really hope that for you as well. And if you are a winner of the giveaway, please email me in my email, knitandcraft@gmail.com. So I'll put that on the screen. I'll put that in the description. And I really appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me. I hope next episode will be a little less chaotic, but Chaos Kristen might be here to stay. So thanks for hanging out. Bye.